Hey guys, good morning. So I'm back at the allotment today, and yeah, it's been a bit of a miserable start to the day. I've actually braved the elements today, guys, to see whether or not we'll be able to actually get some work done. Yesterday was really good. I somehow managed to not only assemble the shed base with those slabs that we had, we also built the base, reinforced it with some plywood. And then on top of that, we even managed to build the shed which we were given by one of the allotment owners here. And so yeah, I mean, I was here until late last night. It was literally dark when I was leaving. I sort of threw the old felt on top of it yesterday just to try and keep some of the water out of the shed. So I've just come back now. I'm gonna go and look to see whether or not I've been successful in actually keeping the shed itself watertight. Now, I'm not holding my breath because that felt was pretty badly damaged, and there's were several holes within the shed, and as the wind starts to blow, I know that water always often make its way into buildings if there's any gap. So let's go and find out, guys, whether or not the shed is still standing, and also whether or not it's soaking wet. Now, I actually brought my ladder today in the hopes that I'll be able to replace the old felt on top with some pieces that we've got at home. I've just brought them in the car as well, and I'm hoping to actually try and hang the old door that was actually there. The door seems a bit small to me, but perhaps it was gotten after the fact from a different shed. So I'll try and see if we can retrofit that. I've got a couple hinges as well. And so yeah, let's see what we can get done. It's a wet all day. It's very windy. Okay guys, so let's go see what's happening. I don't want to leave the car because I'm looking outside and it's so windy. It was raining a few minutes ago, so if I can film some stuff, I'll definitely show you guys what we're working with today. Okay guys, so we're back again, and wow, I'm just looking at this shed. I'm pleasantly surprised to see that it's still standing. We were here last night until very late. The girls came over with Saf after school and they left me here as I was trying to shore up our new shed, guys. I mean, looking at it in the daylight, our poor thing just looks a bit worse for wear, where it's been patched here and patched there. These pieces of wood here we've sort of like just put in place to try and stop the water from getting in. The felt is full of holes, definitely not in good condition. Just looking at the front door, which again, I'm not sure if this door is actually for this shed. It looks as if it could have been repurposed from another shed somewhere, but nevertheless, I'm not complaining. I've done everything I can to keep this felt on top of the keep it on top of the shed, guys, and we've had success. I'm going to go inside and see whether or not water managed to get in, but I need my drill in order to unscrew the door because it's just been screwed shut. And as you can hear, guys, I hope, it is super windy today. Yeah, it's not a great day for outdoorsy stuff, especially when it comes to filming with a camera. So I don't know how much of that I'll be able to do. So let me get my drill and see how we're looking on the inside, guys. Okay guys, so we started off by removing the door of the shed, which we just simply screwed on yesterday just to stop it from falling, just to stop the water from going inside. And I was pleased to see upon opening the shed that it was pretty dry in there. I didn't see any signs of water getting in, but I was racing against the clock, so I cracked on with investigating the felt that I brought. These pieces of felt were actually offcuts from the 16 by 6 shed that we built in our garden over the summer. Now, unfortunately, I didn't store them correctly and they ended up getting damaged, getting ripped. And of course, if you've got a piece of felt that is ripped, then it's no use going on top of your shed. Now, unfortunately, I forgot to bring some scissors, guys, but I had my crafty little multi-tool knife here, which was going to get a baptism of fire because we actually need to cut the pieces of felt in half. Well, at least a good piece that I had from a previous job. Now, it's always a good idea, guys, to try and keep pieces of scrap materials or timber because you never know when you will need them. Now, I've had this piece of felt which I've used for a garden project build some years ago, and now after a couple of years is actually coming in handy.
Now unfortunately we are just a little bit short in using this piece to do both sides of our shed, which is a bit of a bummer. But I'm going to try and improvise to see whether or not I'll be able to use some of the other pieces. But again, this piece is too badly damaged, so it's got to go to the scrap heap. So what to do? I've gone back to the drawing board and I've decided to use half and half. So on this piece of green felt, which was on the project before. Now after examining this piece of felt, guys, we realized that it is good enough to be used for most of the shed. Now I've come up with an idea of using half and half, half new and half old, in order to make this whole project come together. Now failing that, guys, I would have to buy some more felt, which of course is going to add additional cost. And so what I decided to do is basically to use the piece of green on this outside part of the shed, and then the black piece will be used on the other side. But then I realized that there was a rip in a part of the green felt, guys, so we needed to get this covered. So with my trusty knife and using these pieces of decking board, I've made a nice straight edge where I can actually cut this down to size. I mean, if you ever run into a challenge like this, a nice piece of straight edge timber and a knife will be your get out of jail free card. And as you can see, I'm stripping down all of the pieces which had holes and the nails, and then I'm going to be using this to cover the top of the shed to prevent any water from getting in that hole that I spotted on top. Now ideally you'd use a pair of scissors to cut this, but I didn't have any. I forgot to bring some with me, and so I'm so glad that I had this knife that I'm finally been able to use. So once I've cut this on both sides, I'm left with this strip, which will be perfect for covering over the section that has been damaged.
Okay guys, take two. So we've cut our strip and let's see. Oh, it does have a hole there, guys, so it's not perfect by any stretch, but what I'm really hoping to do is to cover these holes that's in this bottom piece at the top there. So even though it's got a hole in it, this hole should end up somewhere here, and even if water does get underneath it, it should run down. It's not ideal, but needs must, I suppose. A number of years I will have to repair the roof after having a few storms, and you know how it is when the storms of life starts to blow. You've got to roll the punches. Oh, brilliant. That's the first bit done. How's it looking on the other side? Nice, I'm happy with that. So now rinse and repeat, guys, and then we'll come back once it's all done. Okay guys, so I'm putting on the kind of finishing touches. Well, not really, because there's still so much to do. I'm looking in the shed and there's so many holes all around the place. But I'm putting on these trims because our roof is nearing completion. I'm reusing the ones that we got with the shed, and hopefully they'll go on perfectly fine. Now, a lot of people use nails because I guess they're cheaper than using screws, but when you're using nails in timber, it can sometimes feel permanent when you use them. I prefer to use screws because nails to me oftentimes feel so permanent when you drive them into a piece of wood. A lot of the time you can remove them, but it takes a lot of hard work to actually get them out. So yeah, I always prefer to use screws as opposed to nails. And it's a lot less banging. You just press a button and it's in. I'm gonna put another one here, I think, in the middle, and then job done on the front, guys. So far so good. Our roof is on. It's pretty much watertight now. I will need to trim off that extra piece of felt there and put some nails along the side, and then job done. Now we just got to focus on that great big hole at the back, which I'm sure you can see, and try to nail in some of those boards along the sides. We're getting there, guys. Hey guys, so look at this. I've been busy cracking on. God, it's so good because as you can see, it looked like it was going to rain all day, but clouds I've held off. The roof is done. I know it looks quite dirty on this side because I've reused the old felt. Still need to put maybe a couple more of those nails in, but I've run out. So this side's done. We've put on the fascia board, which is looking really smart. And on this side, you can see, I mean, yeah, the new black felt looks so much better. Let me take this off before I forget it. And I've managed to repair all of the damaged boards on the outside. Look at this. No more holes, guys. And I was able to count on one of my wonderful neighbors on the plot who actually gave me some more boards, which came in handy. Got a few of these lats. I was able to replace that bit. You can see where we had those damaged ones. So now, apart from those random knot holes, we've got a watertight shed, guys, which I'm so happy about. Now my last thing to do, and I'm against the clock, is to actually try and see if I can fit this door, guys. Not sure how easy it will be, but I'll give it a go. And then once that's done, that's job done for the day. So whether or not I'll be able to actually fit this door, it's another question. Seen better days, this door. It's got some hinges on it, I think. I thought I saw some hinges. Ah, there's one hinge, which is here. Now, how do I want this to open? Let's open it this way out. Okay, so it's going to be something like this. The only challenge is I'm looking at those hinges. They don't exactly sit flush, because typically you'd have a nice area to actually put these hinges on. I'd have to do it on here. That's on the outside. So I've got these two hinges, which I'm hoping to use to replace the old ones that used to be there. I've also put an extra piece of timber just below this one here on the inside of that wood, and hopefully the door will be strengthened because of it. Hey guys, so I'm coming to you live from our shed just in time. I was literally finishing up the last hinge at the bottom there, and then it started to rain. God is so good. It hasn't rained all day, and I was able to actually get all of the work done on the shed to the point where the door is actually on. Yeah, it's still raining a little bit. We finally have a watertight shelter, guys, which is absolutely fantastic. Oh, I forgot to remove these nails here. So if there's anyone that's tall here, perhaps they should definitely stay away from this section. It is a small shed, a 6x4. So it's not particularly big by any stretch, but it will be perfect for storing our tools, things that we need to leave here at the allotment without going home with it all the time. Obviously keeping them out of the water, out of the rain, and I'm just so excited that it's finally done. I wanted to show you guys what it looks like from the outside. I look from the outside, and we got one door that is on nice and tight, nice and snug. I'm quite impressed that I actually managed to get that on fairly well. Just a little bit of a drop at the top there. But what I'm thinking of doing is actually just getting some bits of timber to just put around the gaps down the side. This bit of the door is really badly damaged, so a piece of timber over here might be a good idea. But we'll see how it goes first, just to protect it from the elements. So yeah, overall guys, I'm really happy. I don't know, to me it kind of looks like a little outhouse. Do you remember those old-fashioned toilets that used to be outside? That's what this reminds me of. But yeah, I'm going to wrap up for today. Just going to put a little lock on that door to keep the door shut. I haven't got a padlock yet, so I'll have to source a lock for it. But look at that, guys, our shed is now complete. Took me all of 2 days to do from start to finish. Oh, this is so fantastic, guys. Happy days. The rest of the allotment looks absolutely terrible at the moment. But what I'm planning on doing is all of that soil that I excavated from there, that was in the compost heap, I'm going to lift up that tarp over there, and once I've lifted it up, I'm going to just basically spread that underneath a little bit so that the mound can go down a bit. I'm just mindful I don't want any waters running underneath the shed unnecessarily. And then I'm just going to cover over that, make sure that I've covered all the way up to the front of the shed to kill off that grass. And yeah, hopefully this tarp will do its thing. That's it, guys, all done for today. Roof is on, door is on, it's watertight. I've even brought a few flowers just to make it look like somebody lives here. And yeah, just the start of things to come. Starting to rain now, so I'm gonna get going. Time for the school run. As always, take care, guys, and we'll see you in the next video. God bless.